Hi all, I am delighted today to have a peek inside with you of My Great Predecessors Part 1. So this book is now on Chessable in an interactive format. This is a book I queued for some time when there was a book signing. You can see a picture here. I got my own personal book signed by Garry Kasparov. So I'm very, very excited to be able to peek inside with you at this new book. It was like miles and miles of queuing for the book signing. Such a popular series. I've got the multi-parts, and also I am interested, as many of you are aware, in the evolution of chess style. So Kasparov has basically indicated that the games and the style of play is a kind of function of the context of the time, the technology, the culture of the time, all create the climate for the kind of chess that is played in those eras of the players involved. Now, we see here, basically, in this little introduction, let's read it from here. So Kasparov, universally acclaimed as the greatest chess player ever. So part 1, we have Wilhelm Steinitz, Emanuel Lasker, Jose Raul Capablanca, Alexander Alekhine. So these are the predecessors covered in the first part. So where he's looking back at the past world chess champions. So let's have a look now. Browse and click the intro. So we have 2 informational intros here, and he goes over after each world chess champion from a number of perspectives. So Steinitz, the first official world chess champion, he describes him as an ardent follower of the scientific method. So very, very interesting descriptions here. Lasker, Doctor of Philosophy and Mathematics, the only player to appreciate the importance of psychological factors. So Capablanca, the chess machine, that was his nickname. He went through a huge unbeaten run at some point in his career. So the purity of his playing style called him that as well. Favourite for the public, a person of refined manners and man of the world, crushing his opponents in an apparently offhand manner with exquisite ease and elegance. So a great profiling here. Alexander Alekhine, something about his family as well. So very interesting to read here. And these are in other parts of his series going onwards, but he covers all the key world champions, even himself later, Fischer, and Karpov himself, Kramnik. So that's in other parts. But in part 1, the first set of world champions. And now the Chessable version, let's have a read of the introduction here. So 775 extra exercises derived from model games, annotated and shown by Kasparov. So Chessable have based these exercises on the comments and annotations made by Kasparov, and in some cases additional text and sub-variations to explain some of the solutions to the exercises. So the great emphasis on explaining, not just to have the solutions, great explanations as well. And they cover all aspects of the game of chess, so not just tactical puzzles, but also strategy puzzles, endgame technique, opening theory. Especially opening theory is a concrete evidence of evolution, how opening theory in chess has evolved through the ages. Okay, so let's have a look at the chapters. So we have Steinitz here, chess before Steinitz, Lasker, Capablanca, and Alexander Alekhine. So let's dip in here and check out a few of the solves in each section. So you see, look at this scrolling, there's a huge number here to be solved, a lot of stuff. Let's pick this one. So 5 seconds, black to play. Here I've actually sneak previewed this already. So I've also seen this before as well. So black to play. Okay, it's knight f2 check, and then here there's a double check, and we can use a great mating pattern, the smothered mate. So queen e1 check, and then knight f2 is checkmate. So a typical smothered mate. Let's go back and do another little thing to solve here. So B takes C3. Now what do we want to do? Take care, it seems a bit greedy. Perhaps D5 instead. Alright, so this is more. Now I wonder, bishop E6 or bishop E7? Nope. Bishop E7. Okay. Let's go with bishop E7 then. Okay, so then castle. Yes, that seems pretty sensible. Let's go back. And McDonald against Labordonnais. Now, I have seen this game before. Massive central pawns. A real brilliancy. Now, if we play F2, perhaps white can block up. So let's throw in this check and try and break through to the opponent's king. Like this. Rook on the 7th is looking dangerous. So if king h1, there was queen f3 check there. Let's have this discovered check here. This surely leads to checkmate. We've got the king to ourselves here. Let's go back and another fun little solve somewhere random. Roseanne's Anderson. Okay, here. Oh, this. I'm pretty sure I've covered this game on the channel at some point. Is it some sort of smothered mate? Queen f1, knight e4 if the bishop wasn't there. Interesting. Or queen b6 maybe. Ah, hang on. Queen b6 looks even stronger. I'm going to go with queen b6. Now we have got queen g1 and maybe queen e3 after that. Looks very tempting. A lot of fun to be had here. Let's go back. So d takes e5 was the mistake there. That opened up that kind of diagonal of death. Let's have that nice little playground here to solve. Shorten against Morphy. Ah, okay. Now this diagonal looks weak. Can we can play this? The rook's not loose at the moment. I wonder. I'm not totally sure. If we take and then knight d4, this looks plausible. So we've got knight d4. Isn't that fairly crushing? Just the king in the center. Oh, I hope so. Okay, I'm on a roll here. I haven't prepared all these in advance, honest. Okay, so let's go. This one, Morphy against Anderson. Knight e8 check. Right, does this backfire if we take there? We get time for bishop b4 check. This does look tempting to give us some stuff like bishop b4 check. Now, is there anything stronger? I think that looks pretty convincing, bishop b4 check. And then maybe what we can do is... Oh, no. I'm thinking taking there, but no, maybe we just take there because we don't want to lose too many pieces. Unless there's anything stronger. I might be getting this wrong. But I'm hoping that this is okay. We've got knight c2 check anyway on taste, surely. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, there's a lot to dip in, and the ones you have, it will tell you. Saint-Amant against Staunton. Rook d1. Looks as though something's happening with g2 here. Bishop takes b4 is another forcing move. Knight g3. I'm not really sure. Knight takes c3. G2 is protected, it seems, adequately at the moment. I'm going to have trouble with this one for sure. Oh dear. it doesn't spring to me immediately. So these guys were pretty good. Yep. If I click, I don't know. Knight takes c3. Let's have a look. Black to play. So knight takes c3. All right, we can put pressure on the diagonal, but there's always d5. Maybe we can play queen e7, getting a tempo for queen e4. That looks dangerous. That looks tempting, queen e7. There's also potentially bishop f4. Not convinced though, but queen e7, I can see it hits b4 and f4. But is that really the way to do it? Oh, hold on. There's bishop f3. We can play bishop f3, skewering the rooks. Let's do that. Cool. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had around here. Let's pick a player which we haven't... not a bird Morphy. Yes, bird against Morphy. Okay, taking there. Do we want to just play rook takes f6 or something else? I think rook f6, queen g5. I think we have rook g6. I don't see that there would be much of an alternative here. E3. Okay, E3. So very clever, I'm sure. It creates a pin situation of that knight. Of course, so there's no knight g6. You see, that's why we learn from the masters. E3. It subtly really changes the configuration of the position, so that rook g6 and the knight is now pinned because of that E3. Brilliant. So we can play rook g6 now. Brilliant Morphy there. Okay, let's go back. And yes, so we can see the ones with the overstudy that we've already had a go at. So yeah, I'm intending to have fun with this book. Schulten against Morphy. Oh, that's a variation that we've already seen. In fact, here I think rook takes a knight d4. Looks very strong to exploit that pin. Surely this is very tempting, knight d4. Okay. So, any others that really are there tempting? One more on this for the record. Knight takes g4. Okay, I think, how did Anderson refute White's capture of the g4 pawn? Indeed, knight takes in d5. Is that really a refutation? d5. I think knight takes in d5. Let's go with knight takes. Nope. Knight takes e4. Okay. And now here, something... Okay, this diagonal seems a little bit vulnerable. What about knight g3? Maybe that's the point, knight g3, because then we might have queen e7 check. All right, so here, I think we can throw in queen e7 check first. And that will stop the queen e2 business. Because I think if we played here, I think queen e2 check and then knight f6 and bishop h6 is mating. So I'd be happier if there wasn't this getting checkmated after. No. Maybe there's something about that position. Hold on a sec. Knight takes h1. Oh, hold on. The king could go to d8 maybe. All right, we'll take there. So after knight f6, we can go to d8. I've missed that point. We can go to d8. Anyway. All right, yes. King takes. Is forced. King going back. We've got a lot of pieces here for the queen. Maybe this is the point is we've got a ton of pieces for the queen. Okay, some of these are pretty advanced to get right. Let's go on to another chapter for fun. So chapter list and look at Steinitz now. So the first official world chess champion who really introduced positional chess to the game. Originally, I think he was just a hacker like the other Romantic era hackers, and he changed his style, the accumulation of advantages theory, which we've covered on the Evolution of Style series on the Kingscrusher channel, by the way. But yeah, accumulation of advantages. So it depends which part of his career these are taken from, which years. So we've got a ton of ones to play through here. Anderson against Steinitz. So Steinitz here. This rings a bell. Find the right plan for black. I like this sort of position with a pawn avalanche over here. I would play this with like this kind of thing with f5. But I wonder if he wanted to cover d5 immediately. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this wrong. Yes. Knight e8. He goes like that for f5 immediately. Okay, let's see his interpretation. And I'm pretty sure we've covered this game at some point. Making way for the f-pawn. I love this kind of thing. I'm tempted sometimes myself to play king h7, but maybe he's got a point in this particular position. We can just play knight e8 and then f5. Okay, it's good to recap these methods. Let's have a look at another example. Blackburn against Steinitz. Rook d4 was played. Black to play here. Let's see. Our king looks pretty vulnerable. I'm wondering h5. Let's try h5. Oh, lucky there. Yeah, it looks as though our king might be okay. Just trying to tap into get the rook activated. Let's have a look at another example. Gunzburg against Chigorin. Now Chigorin was the first kind of the Soviet. He was taken as one of the fathers of the Soviet chess school. Very creative player. Black to increase the advantage here. I wonder if we protect e5 and then play for c4 later. e5 does seem to be under fire. I would perhaps consider knight d7, but maybe, I don't know, maybe c4 immediately. I'm tempted for knight d7. I don't know if that's too simple. Knight d7, all right. Okay, now maybe c4, trying to break up the pawns. Looks fairly logical to me, although it's not the move. No, knight b8. Wow. Knight b8. I can see it can go to d4 here. All right, this is a nice positional rerouting plan. Maybe we want to take with this pawn because we clamp down and we get some activity. This might be wrong. It's pretty dynamic to accept the double pawns. We reroute the knight to d4. No, not there. Not to d4. Hang on. What about this? To double the rooks. Oh, that is neat. And now, surely, knight d4 plan. Oh, this is great. This is absolutely great. How these old masters, old school, so to speak, played. Chigorin against Tarrasch. All right, I think we can do a breakthrough move to create an outside pass pawn. So I'd go with f4 check to get... An outside pass pawn is completely wrong. Okay. G takes h4. Let's think. G takes h4. Right. So here... no? Do we wipe out these pawns? Oh, of course. Hang on. We wipe out these pawns... Let's have a go with this then. And do we just about have enough time? Oh, that delays things. That creates the time for us. I'm getting this simple king and pawn ending totally wrong. Oh well. I'm blitzing it. Please excuse me. I'm blitzing it. Just to give you a flavour of the book. A look inside. We're there just in time. But that was really ingenious by Tarrasch. And the Tarrasch rule in rook and pawn endings, rook behind the pawn, is a really important rule from Tarrasch. Yeah, just in time there. Wow, that was really brilliant calculation in that endgame. Let's have a look at a bit more. Steinitz against Lasker. So world champion against world champion. What continuation did Lasker have in mind here? Okay, so on taking that, I think we can play bishop takes d4. Isn't that a loose bishop? And there's bishop d6 though. Is that a problem? We've got bishop takes e3 check. Oh, I'm not really sure. We can play... no, I'm not sure. No, there's no bishop d6. There's a pawn there. Let's just do this. Bishop takes d4. I'm going to give it a punt. No! e5. Okay. E5. Knight takes then. Okay. Intriguing. In this position. Knight takes c4. Is this good to get the light square bishop? Alternative. It looks tempting to play maybe g6 and bishop f5. What about just queen takes c5, Muppets? No, it's not. Bishop f5. Wow. What's this with bishop f5? Queen takes. All right, we just take on c4 and we're hitting b2. That makes sense now. I've leveled up. Okay. Let's go back. And let's have a look at another chapter. So chapter list, let's have a look at Emanuel Lasker, so the great psychologist, world chess champion. Maybe understated. I think recently someone wanted some more Lasker games on the Kingscrusher channel, so I think I'm going to be checking him out more soon. Progress on the king side. Now, I guess White wants to play for e4 at some point. Could we just plonk a knight in on e4? Anytime that's grabbed, we can get the d5 square. So maybe knight e4. All right, knight e4, yeah. It doesn't matter so much about the double pawns. That's cool. Okay, it's a nice positional kind of question there. Lasker. Lasker against... so this one. Okay, so black to play here. Can we just play a tactical forcing move here? Because g2 is a bit of a liability. I think I see it if you want 5 seconds. Okay, I think I might have given it away as well. I think c4 looks crushing. No, it's not c4. It's not c4. Why isn't it c4? c4 taking. The g2 is adequately protected. What am I talking about? It's knight e4 again. Okay. Now maybe a6. a6. f6. Right, we chase this bishop away. Can we just centralize a rook or play a6? Is tempting to me to play b5 to trap this bishop. Maybe I'm wrong, but a6. No, I'm definitely wrong again. Queen d7. All right, queen d7. Is the idea to play bishop d5 here? Fascinating. It's very, very hard, some of these. I think, yeah, so I'm hoping you'll take more time than I have on these to get these right. Pillsbury against Tarrasch. This rings a bell. Okay, this game, I think I've video annotated it from the Hastings Congress at some point. So, can we play rook f4? Or is there's too many checks there? There might be too many checks, or do they run out? Because if we got in rook h4, this would be really good. I'm thinking rook f4, and maybe we can bypass the checks eventually. Am I being optimistic? I don't think we could. No. What about simply king h1 and rook g1? I don't think we can bypass the checks. King h1 looks very dangerous. It stays away from all the checks and means rook g1. That is the move, yeah. So rook g1 or the check now. The check now, because if we played there taking queen g7, it's not entirely clear, is it? So I'm wondering check immediately, then check. Do we get... This looks tempting immediately. No, it is rook g1. All right, we'll follow these checks then. Oh, it's check here, isn't it? Then queen f4. Okay, I have a lot of work to do on this book. If we take, do we get a key check? Is there enough time to get enough material? I think we should take, and then another check. I assume here to win some material. Yeah, it's with check. I think, yeah, that would be good enough. Okay. So Harry Nelson Pillsbury was a brilliant light in chess. tragically short-lived though. Nimzovich against Tarrasch. So bishop takes g2 looks good, dynamically good, for a sort of king hunt, because we've got check and rook d5. I would hope. We're threatening immediately queen h1. I'm going to go with this, and queen here, and then this lovely rook lift. Okay, cool. Nimzovich against Tarrasch. So there were kind of bitter rivalry, apparently, between them. There was a bitter rivalry. Rubinstein against Capablanca. White to play here. Looks as though d5's vulnerable. How about knight g5? I think he positioned he'd want to get that bishop. Or would he? Would he? I am not sure. Knight g5. He does. Does he try and break up the pawn structure with e4? This seems sensible to me. No. Okay. He could target this with bishop h3. Maybe that's the idea. Try bishop h3. Okay, some of these, yeah. To learn the old masters, what they did, is brilliant. This is a brilliant resource. Makes the whole thing come to life. Reti against Lasker. Black to play here. How about e4 for e3? If we play e4, can we go for e3? I wonder. There's knight d4 though. I don't know. I don't know. Nope. a5. Okay. So the idea of attacking the pawn chain with a4. So there is a b4 weakness now to play with. Perhaps also we could consider knight c5. No, I'm not really sure. e4 still seems a little bit lucrative to me. But is the case because of knight d4? Is this fundamentally bad? Yes. It's h6. Okay. So again, he's not giving the dark squares. Persisting, and I'm still getting it wrong. Okay. It seems to be ramping up for e4 at some point. Let's go on to another chapter, shall we? So another chapter list. Capablanca, the great Capablanca. Okay, Capablanca against Marshall. This rings a bell for the Marshall Gambit. Oh, knight f5. It's not the classic Marshall Gambit game, but it's very interesting. So Marshall played h5. What would have been a better defense for black? Okay. Intriguing. Bishop g5 or knight g5? Maybe knight g5, trying to create a dark square blockade. Right, and can we just take off and try and get rid of the dark square bishop? Maybe this is the way to do it. Try and create a dark square blockade. Perhaps we can reroute the knight or take on c1. Okay, maybe taking on c1 then. And then reroute the knight somewhere. Or knight e7. Okay, c6. Okay, very, very interesting. So I think, sometimes Kasparov has forensically analysed better defences in classic games as well. I remember, when he did his book signing, he also, said he had a first category analyst, tracking all the variations. So it is also, highly, checked out clinically, a lot of this stuff, and finding great innovations in the past games. Kasparov actually went into great lengths on a particular game he had with Anatoly Karpov, doing a massive dissection, which was quite entertaining. I remember from the book signing, there was a bit of a presentation after of stuff. So Capablanca against Lilienthal. So how could black have equalised here? Yeah, it's interesting because b5 is perhaps an issue. Maybe, taking on c4 isn't so terrible. We can use the d5 square. Is it possible that this... Nope. e5. And can we just keep the c file closed? So knight takes d5. Right. Now, this kind of attack here, I'm wondering, can we afford anything passive? Or should we maybe just taking it? Maybe just taking it. Yeah, because I think we don't want our pieces like totally pacified. Now, yeah, it gets tricky, doesn't it? So with the knight hanging, I think knight f6 might be interesting. Rook takes b5 down, and white's chiseling away at the pawns. So, yeah, what about... Okay, e4. I'm not sure. Not sure now. Knight f6 for e4. I'll try knight f6. Can we go for e4 or maybe b4? Tricky. E4 might give us some play. I would expect. I would hope on this file. Okay, that might be it. Okay, yeah. Some of these are really, really tricky. This is a lot to learn here. Kaplanka against Bogolojubov, which I spent many a time trying to pronounce properly. Bogolojubov. Okay, so here black missed an opportunity to get good counterplay. Good counterplay here. b4. There's a passed pawn with b4. Is that not bad? Or there's knight takes a4. I wonder. And knight takes a4 or b4. The knight seems quite nicely entrenched on c5. I'm wondering if the more dynamic is actually to play b4. Let's see. b4. Nope. B takes. All right, just letting it go. And now, okay, c3. Alternative. Wow. This is tricky stuff. Not sure. Not really sure. Knight d3. That looks interesting. Knight d3. Okay. And here, knight f4 or rook c8. Knight f4 or rook c8. I'm stuck. Knight b2 is also a candidate move. Yeah, I'm not sure at all. If we played this, alternative, knight f4, alternative, knight b2 for c3. Knight b2 for c3, is that a move? Knight b4, okay. Oh, for knight c2 being threatened, okay. And also, if rook takes, there's queen takes a1. Oh, there's some tricky resources in these positions. Can we play rook takes here? And queen g6 or rook takes e4? I'm not sure, actually. Again. Queen e7 for f5, maybe. Oh, rook takes e4. Okay, what's the point here? Oh, there's bishop g6, isn't there? Bishop g6. And now we're leaving that rook hanging. I don't think there's any time for queen takes b4 because queen takes a1. And now a5. Okay, yeah, there's some pretty interesting examples here. Let's have a look at another chapter. Alexander Alekhine. So this was Alexander Alekhine was a favourite of Garry Kasparov. So when he was younger, looking at all the Alekhine games for the dynamic pawn sacrifices, I remember reading Alekhine against Vidmar. Okay, so here I think maybe knight takes, and then we could play d5 hitting the queen. Now, to equalize, maybe bishop takes c3 and queen takes e4. Or d takes e4. Not sure. Maybe queen takes e4. That looks as though it should be okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so in the game there followed knight takes e4, which underestimated white's resources. Yeah, there looks to be some potential tricks there. Okay, let's go back. So this is really, really good fun. There's a whole wealth of exercises here. Let's go right here. Alekhine against Capablanca. How should black respond with white's invasion of the 7th rank? I'm wondering if there's a tactical knight d5 if takes. Is there something tactical going on there with that rook? Whoa, not entirely sure. Maybe. Nope. Queen d6. Okay, hang on. Let's see what's going on here. After rook takes b7. Oh, bishop c8 is possible. So that rook is a real tactical liability. Bishop c8. Okay. Let's have another butcher somewhere against Pogorny. How does black deal with the pressure on the e-file? Okay, maybe black could just castle here because of rook e8 after. We'll play rook e8. Managed to get that one in the bag. So in the game, oh, pardon me, in the game, okay, let's carry on. So in the game there was a blunder there. Let's carry on. Torres against Alexander Alekhine. So rook f1, black to play. It looks as though this diagonal is a lot of fun. d4 looks to be a lot of fun. I'm wondering d4 just to open up this diagonal. No. Okay, that's a bit of preparation there. Okay. Maybe the idea is g5. Let's have a look at the explanation here. An important link of the future combination. The king moves not so much to make rook g8 possible, but after d5, d4, white cannot take on c4 with check. Oh, of course, taking and check the diagonal of death. So they factored in, the old masters, the diagonal of death. This prophylaxis move, king h8, very important. You know what? I think I can really do with going through this book and doing another review at some point in the future. This really is a fascinating wealth of exercises, and my own copy of the book has been, like with many of my chess books, just on the shelf. I haven't really, gone to town with it, and it is obviously it's a fantastic book, one I'm proud of to have in my library. But doing the exercises is a great way to get value and use the Chessable tools here. So I'm really loving this, and I think I've got a lot of hours of work to do to solve these. So yeah, let's have a look at the chapter list again. And there's a leaderboard here, so quite fiercely contested. Let's have a look here. So I'm ranked 7 at the moment. It's a kind of a new edition. So this is a very, very new book. Week, month, all time. So this is this week. Okay. So but all time, you can see quite a large number of people there. Okay, let's go to the main. So going back here. So leaderboards. And yeah, have fun with that. So fantastic. My Great Predecessors, just to recap. So wonderful collection of masterpieces created by the best chess players in the world and studied under the microscope of the latest analytical computer programs. Hence a number of great finds and discoveries. In fact, I would say that it's the Great Predecessor series which really, some of my more analytical videos with engines in the past, when I first started as a YouTuber, was actually influenced by Kasparov being really incisive with his game with Anatoly Karpov, finding all the, technical resources. I know sometimes for the average YouTuber, it's best not to have videos over 15 minutes, but Kasparov really goes to town finding super amazing, technical resources in these historical games, as well as providing great cultural information about the time and the players themselves. So a fantastic book to check out there at Chessable. Hope you do that, and please use the link there. You got the short URL link there, or in the description. Okay, thanks very much.